Policymakers, researchers and civil organizations across the world gathered at the 10th Annual Ibadan Sustainable Development Summit ISDS 2019, organized by the Center for Sustainable Development, CESDEV, University of Ibadan, in collaboration with the Sustainable Development Solutions Network, SDSN, as they discussed the way forward for sustainable development in Nigeria on the theme Building and Sustaining Strategic Partnerships for the Sustainable Development Goals. The 10th ISDS 2019 three-day conference opening ceremony was held at the Gamaliel Onosade Hall, International Conference Center, University of Ibadan, Nigeria, aimed at strategizing, breaking of silos and forging of partnerships among various stakeholders, policymakers, the academia, corporate organizations, researchers, community leaders and civil society in achieving Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) in the world. In his welcome remark, Professor Olanrewaju Olaniyan, the director, CESDEV, University of Ibadan, said,
"When we started that Center for Sustainable Development, the whole world had not started talking about sustainable development. The Sustainable Development Goals started 5 years later, which shows the pioneer attitude of the University of Ibadan."
Experiences over the years have shown that a lot of knowledge exchange and knowledge sharing has opened within the center and the university. In his own introductory remark, Professor Labode Popola, the Director, Sustainable Development Solutions Network, SDSN Nigeria, and Vice-Chancellor, Osun State University, Nigeria, said the SDSN Nigeria, hosted at Center for Sustainable Development, University of Ibadan, is Africa's pioneer SDSN. Speaking on empowerment about gender issues, Professor Janice Olawoye hoped that through the summit, careful attention would be given to gender issues and women empowerment.
By looking at the list of participants in the summit, one can again see that serious thought has been given to the various stakeholders needed to meet the Sustainable Development Goals.
In his address as the chairman, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Abel Olayinka Idowu, who was ably represented by the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Administration of the University, Professor K.O. Adebowale.
In its drive towards sustainable development in Nigeria, the University of Ibadan, through the Center for Sustainable Development, CESDEV, provides an intellectual platform for identifying issues relevant to sustainable development, critically analyzing them, and finding enduring solutions that will enhance sustainable development.
In his keynote address, Professor Olu Ajakaye, Executive Chairman, African Center for Shared Development Capacity Building, said,
"The program actually requires revitalized global partnership, and that should facilitate intensive global engagement."
Professor Walter Vermeulen, University of Utrecht, Netherlands, a keynote speaker who addressed the topic, the wicked problem of waste, export and imports in the context of creating a circular economy, the art of figuring out, said,
"What I would like to suggest to everybody, don't do this on your own, do it jointly. And do it jointly not only with scholars, with your colleagues, students or researchers, but do it jointly with people in the field. And we were talking about PPI, we'll talk about transdisciplinary work. Do it together with the people that are involved. And there's a big advantage, because by testing all the assumptions in a figure with others, you get to a better joint understanding."
Keynote speakers at the summit were all giving awards of participation during the conference. It's worthy of note that 114 book of abstracts were presented at the 10th Annual Ibadan Sustainable Development Summit ISDS 2019 conference.
Africa should develop a new partnership which is mostly focused on the look-east policy.
We need to be focused, be strategized, and then look at the best way to achieve some of these goals. So one of these may be partnership. One of it may be how would we allow industry, academia and government to work together.
We decided to focus on SDG 4 and 10. And the reason is because we work with children who do not have a voice for themselves, who are left behind a lot of times because of their disability.
in my mind, we need to figure out what are partnerships? Why do they work? How do they work? And, if we're going to use partnerships to achieve the SDGs, what do we need to do? How do we need to think different?
Short video, drama and song presentations were performed to thrill the participants at the conference. A dinner night was organized at the end of the summit where all resource persons and participants ate delicious food with assorted drinks while they danced to the rave of the moment, making the 10th Annual Ibadan Sustainable Development Summit ISDS 2019 a memorable event.